Okay, I'm not trying to be rude by being on my phone. I'm just like checking in the live stream just to make sure it's actually showing up and that things are working. So let me just put my phone here. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. This is our live class that we're going to be doing together. It'll be about 30 minutes long, a morning flow, great for all levels, no props required. And just to give you an idea of the logistics and what I have here. So obviously my camera is right here in front of me, and then I have my laptop to the side just so I can monitor the internet. And then I have my phone here just so I can monitor the chat. So if there are any technical issues throughout this live stream. So if, for example, you can't hear me, you can't see me, anything like that, please use red emojis in the chat box because I can't necessarily see what you're writing. My eyes are not that good. But if I see lots of red emojis coming in, it'll alert me that something's wrong and I need to pause and fix something. So right now, before we start, could I get green emojis or something just to let me know that you can hear me, you can see me, and that the connection is okay. So I am looking forward to this. I haven't done, okay, I see some green coming in, so that's perfect for me. It's been a while since I've done a live class. The last one I did, I think, was for my New Year's intention setting workshop. So that was end of December, or no, it was early January. I think it was January 3rd. And I don't know, they're really fun. I'm always worried that something is going to go wrong, and sometimes it does, but it's okay. It's good to face your fears. And I don't know, I just thought it would be really fun for all of us to actually be practicing together in real time. There's something quite special and magical about that. So all levels morning yoga flow, we're actually going to start standing up. So let's just get right into it. And you can place yourself at the back of your mat. Just going to unroll it here. Feet hip width distance apart. They can be a little bit wider even. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears, palms shining forward. Tadasana, your mountain pose. And just find a few deep breaths in and out through your nose, settling into all four corners of both feet. So grounding down through your roots, and at the same time, lengthening through your spine, reaching the crown of your head up. And we'll come into a side bend from here. So you can keep your left hand down your left leg and reach your right arm up and over. Just lean over and you can push out into your right hip. This is also my first practice of the day. So this is really going to be a big flexibility focused practice. Come all the way up and switch sides. Left arm rises and reaches up and over. And you can push out into that left hip. And reach all the way back up. Let's reach our arms all the way up. You can press your hands together, find a tiny little back bend, and then cactus shape with your arms. So bending your elbows and trying to keep the elbows pretty much at the same height as your shoulders. We'll do cat and cow from here in standing. Oh no, I see some red emojis. I hope. Did I freeze? It looks good on my end. Cat and cow from here. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, open up through your chest, little back bend. Exhale, round and contract, bring it in. A few more times. Inhale and exhale. Twice more. Staying grounded through the legs. Coming back through to neutral, let's find our ragdoll fold. So you can absolutely bend generously into your knees here. I'm going to grab a hold of my elbows and just sway a little side to side. Trying to stretch a little through the back of the legs, along your spine. And you can take a cleansing breath in through the nose and out through your mouth. And let's walk forward, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. It's the first downward dog. So there might be some tightness, some stiffness. Feel free to paddle out the leg. So alternating, bending one knee, straightening the other leg. Just whatever feels beneficial to you in your body this morning. Or of course, I know for some of you, you're elsewhere in the world. So maybe it's afternoon or even evening. That's kind of why I wanted to do more of a slow flexibility flow so that it would be appropriate for any time of the day. And we'll shift forward all the way into your plank, lower down onto your belly. And let's find a little Sphinx pose. Just moving my microphone here. So Sphinx, I'm on my forearms, I'm lifting up through my chest, I'm rolling my shoulders back, down, and away from the ears, and I'm activating through my legs by pushing into the tops of the feet, pushing into the pubic bone, and really finding a nice extension here. Pushing into the palms. So kind of making this more of an active version of Sphinx pose. Only if it feels appropriate to you. You can go a little bit deeper into this one by widening your hands, coming up onto your fingertips, and maybe lifting the elbows up. If this feels bad in your lower back, please leave it out. And let's release child's pose, balasana, big toes together, knees as wide as you would like them to be. And if some of you are only joining us now, just you can say where you're from. Every time I do live classes, I always go back and I read the comments. I love to see where in the world people are tuning in from. Always feels very surreal to think that people from all over are actually doing my classes. It's very special. So 5 deep breaths here in this child's pose. Let go of any tension lingering in your shoulders and in your neck. And one more deep breath. And let's press ourselves up, tabletop onto hands and knees. So you might need to walk your hands back a little bit so they're under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and just regular version of cat and cow from this stance. Inhale, belly drops, arching through the spine here, stretching along the front body. Exhale, stretching along the back body as you round, finding that cat shape, and just keep going through those 2 poses. Put a little bit more weight into your fingertips as opposed to your wrists. This will help to strengthen your wrists and your forearms. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. And let's find our downward facing dog once more. So you can walk your hands out in front of you. I'm seeing some of the comments here. Everyone's saying where they're from. Super cool. Downward facing dog. Hands shoulder width apart, feet hip width distance apart. Relax your head, relax your neck. And we're going to reach our right leg up to the sky, bend your knee, open up your hip. See if by doing this, you're able to get that left heel maybe a little bit closer to the mat. And really squeeze through your seat and through that right leg to get the knee up even higher. I'm going to bring my foot halfway, so kind of to the middle of the mat. So not quite to the top of the mat, just like a little bit behind my right hand. So that middle point. And then I'm going to roll to both edges of both feet. So my toes all turn to point over towards the right side of my mat. I'm leaning on my left hand and I'm reaching my right arm up and over. So this is a variation of Vashisthasana, the side plank. I'm actively pushing both feet into the floor to lift my hips up even higher. And just hold here. So a little bit of core strength activation. Make sure you're still breathing and that you're pressing the shoulders away from your ears. And now all we're going to do is let that left hip sink all the way down and reach your right hand towards the back of the mat. So like a big side body stretch. This is almost like a side sphinx. Push your feet into the ground to lift your hips up. And now place that right hand to the top of the mat. And you might need to grab a hold of your ankle just to find a more traditional lunge stance. So with your feet hip width distance apart, I'm going to keep my back knee lifted. And I'm just rocking a little bit front to back. So getting that first stretch into our hip flexors. My knee is on top of my ankle. And we're going to come from here into our high lunge. So firm up and really engage the strength through your legs to lift all the way up with the upper body. Arms can extend up at the same time. Biceps along the ears, palms facing in towards one another. I have a sway back, so I have a pretty exaggerated curve in my lower back. When I do high lunge like this, it kind of exacerbates it. So something that I like to do is to bend into my back knee so that I can kind of scoop my tailbone under, draw the lower belly in, and just be a little bit more in proper alignment for my lumbar spine. At home, you might be perfectly fine with the back leg straight. One more breath here. And let's release. Hands come down to the mat. Find your flow. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Either cobra or your downward facing dog. And we all find our way back. Downward dog. Now, before we go and repeat this over on the second side, walk your hands towards the back of the mat for your ragdoll fold. You can bend your knees generously. We're going to interlace the hands behind the lower back, so clasping at the palms. And then reaching the knuckles up and over. Two more breaths right here. And release the hands down to the mat. Again, before we go to down dog, point your toes out, heels in. Find Malasana, your yogi squat. You can use your elbows to help push your knees open a little bit wider, drawing your hands in towards your heart. And we're really trying to straighten the spine here so that we're not rounding in and crouching. Think of finding a little bit more lift. And we'll find downward facing dog. So you can just walk your hands, crawling forward. Bring your feet back to being hip width distance apart, palms or shoulder width distance apart. And now let's go ahead and reach our left leg up to the sky. Bend your left knee, open up your hip, and see if that allows you to push down into your right heel a little bit more. This left leg is super active. I'm intentionally trying to lift that knee up higher. And then I'm going to step my left foot halfway between my feet and my hands. So kind of right to the middle of my mat. I'm going to turn on the outer edges of both feet. So all 10 toes are pointing over towards the left side of my mat. This allows me to lean on my right hand and to extend my left arm up and over. This is a good pose to really practice pushing into your fingertips and knuckles. So notice if you're feeling all of this weight directly into your wrists. Of course, it's normal for a lot of the weight to be in the wrists, but as much as possible, we try to shift it forward. And let's set that right hip down. Left arm reaches towards the back of the mat. Get your nice big side body stretch here. Might even get a little bit of a hip stretch by having this left knee bent. Push the feet into the floor to lift yourself back up. Frame the front foot, and we're just going to find that lunge variation. So you can grab a hold of the ankle or just step it forward or wiggle it forward a little bit more. Keep your feet hip width distance apart. Back knee stays up. I'm just on my fingertips here, rocking a little bit back and forth. Getting a nice stretch through those hip flexors. We'll come into our high lunge. So really engage the muscles through both legs to push into the ground. Upper body lifts, arms reach up. I'm going to bend into my back knee just so I can keep my tailbone pointing down to the floor instead of back out behind me. Really get that energy flowing all the way up through your fingertips, all the way up through the crown of your head. Circle the arms, palms face down, take your vinyasa. We all meet downward facing dog. Push into both heels. And same thing again, walk the hands towards the back of the mat for your ragdoll fold. We're going to interlace the hands the more unusual way. So get your other thumb on top this time. And same thing, knuckles reach up and over. Relax your head, your jaw, your facial muscles. Hands come back down to the mat, malasana, into that squat, heels in, toes out, bend the knees. Trying to lift our chest up. And something you can practice at home. So I am using my elbows to help open my thighs a little bit more, pushing into the knees. But see if you can practice keeping them just as open, even when you extend your arms forward. So you really need to contract and engage through your glutes. Demands a little bit more strength. It's a great way to work on flexibility in a bit of a different way. And you can bring them back in to how they were. And let's find downward facing dog. Walking it out. Coming into our puppy pose, bring your knees down to the mat. Keep your hips over your knees. Walk your hands forward. And bring the forehead down to the mat. I'm going to make this a more active version of puppy, which means I'm going to keep my arms straight so my elbows are not touching the mat. And I'm trying to press, almost as if I'm trying to press and melt my heart down, almost like I'm pressing my armpits down towards the mat. Let's walk our hands in, lifting up, and we'll do a little reclined sequence. So you can swing your legs out in front of you, however you need to get there, and just lower all the way down onto your back. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. We'll come into our bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Palms shine up. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears. So even before we go into bridge, I want you to feel an opening through your chest, like a broadening of the collarbones by shrugging your shoulder blades underneath you a little bit. Push the feet into the floor. Squeeze through your seat and lift the hips up, low back and mid back off the mat. Keep hugging the inner thighs towards one another so that you're not splaying the knees open. One more big breath in here. And exhale, slowly curl all the way down. We'll do a different variation of bridge pose. I want you to cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh as if we're doing reclined pigeon. You might want to bring your left foot into the midline a few inches. This will help with bridge. We're doing our single leg bridge like this. So push down into the left foot. Try to keep that right knee and hip pressing open as you squeeze and lift up. So trying to flatten out through our hips. It's definitely harder with just one leg, so it's normal if you're not going up quite as high. And release it back down. Let's find reclined pigeon pose. So keep your legs as they are and just thread the arms through as you pull that left knee in towards your belly. And you can rock a little bit side to side. One last big squeeze here. Set your left foot back down. Before we do this to the other side, we're going to take a little hamstring stretch. So just straighten and extend your right leg up towards the sky. You can hold on to whatever is appropriate behind the back of that leg. I'm just going to flex and point through my right foot. So I'm stretching the back of the ankle and the top of the foot. And let's release. We'll find that single leg bridge. So my right foot is going to be a little bit more towards the midline rather than being directly aligned with my hip. I'm going to cross my left ankle over the top of my right knee, shrugging the shoulders underneath, pushing into the floor and pressing the hips up. So notice how your left knee maybe wants to point up towards the sky. Think of pressing it down. So there's a bit of a hip opening action here as well. And let's lower. Find your reclined pigeon pose. Reach with your arms and pull that right knee in. One last big squeeze. And let's find our hamstring stretch. So release that right foot down, extend your left leg up, and just flex and point. See if you can pull that leg in a little bit more. And release. Stretch your arms up overhead, straighten out through your legs. Big stretch in here. And we'll come up to take a seat. So in my morning classes, I don't usually do Shavasana. I don't want you to fall back asleep, but we are going to do a little bit of breath work. So we'll come into Samavriti Pranayam, which is your box breathing. This is really wonderful, especially in the morning, really gets you like tuned in. It calms like the mental fluctuations of the mind. So really great focusing and balancing practice. You can sit in any way that is comfortable to you. This is a very simple and safe breathing technique. You're just going to inhale, let's say for a count of 4 or 5. You can choose whatever is appropriate to you. And it's like you're tracing a box. So we're inhaling for a count of 4. We're holding our breath in for a count of 4. We're exhaling for that same count of 4, and we're holding the breath out for a count of 4. You can do 5 if that works for you. I like to work with 4. especially if you're new to pranayama, and especially breath retention, shorter will be a lot easier. And we're going to do this one 6 times. So you can shrug your shoulders down, sit up nice and tall, empty the breath out fully, and I'll guide you through the first one. So exhale, and then inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more on your own. Last round. And when you're done, just find a natural breath rhythm, keeping your eyes closed, feeling the effects of your practice on your body, on your mind, on how you feel. And I like to use these morning classes as a way to set our intention for the day. I thought it would be fun this time to use my affirmation cards. This is a deck I launched last year called I Radiate Joy. It's just affirmation cards. So I'm going to draw one and I'm going to use that as my intention for the day. You can use it as well if you like. I'm just picking one at random. My power lies in my sensitivity. So that's the one that will be my intention today. My power lies in my sensitivity. And let's just stay with eyes closed, seated for a few more moments. And maybe you like to use this affirmation, my power lies in my sensitivity. Maybe that can be an intention you work with, or maybe there's something else that speaks to you. Whatever it may be, use these next few moments of silent contemplation and meditation to really anchor your intention for the day. About 10 breaths here. And you can keep your eyes closed. Simply bring your hands together at the front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. Show yourself some gratitude and kindness. I'm so grateful for you joining me in real time. Those of you who are doing this through a replay at another point in time and space, we are all thinking of you here, calling you in. Just the beautiful power and magic of the internet. Something I'm so grateful for. Thank you all so much. Let's chant Om together one time. Inhale to chant. Breathe in. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing this live flow with me. I hope this worked. I wasn't quite paying attention to my chat in these last few moments, but it looks like it's working. So something I'd be curious to know is if you guys would enjoy more live classes or if pre-recorded is better. I'm kind of toying with the idea of doing live classes more on like a semi-regular basis, like maybe once a month or something going forward, partly because it's fun. It's fun to practice with people in real time. And also, you know, it kind of alleviates my proper filming schedule, I guess, if you should say. And sometimes in the summer, I like to take a little bit of time off, you know, and this is actually something I'm contemplating. I might tell you guys now, I am kind of contemplating taking a month off this summer. So not having any YouTube classes come out, but I don't know yet. I'm thinking about that, but I feel like a break would be nice. Let me check the comments just real quick. 10:31. Okay, perfect. So I'm right on time. I didn't want to go over 30 minutes with this class. Perfect. More live classes. Thank you all so much. This was so lovely. So I am going to go back and read the messages and the comments. Rest assured about that. But yes, thank you so very much. Argentina, Hamilton, Ontario. So cool. So lovely. All right. It looks like we had over 1,000 people join live, which is really wonderful. You never really know with live classes, right? So yeah. Okay. And oh, I missed it. My power lies in my sensitivity. That was our affirmation card. I wanted to go and show it to the camera, but I actually put it back in the deck and I don't know where I put it now. But this is the I Radiate Joy, just my affirmation cards that I came out with last year. Okay, I'm gonna head over to my laptop right here. I'm gonna close the stream. Thank you all so much. And yeah, I'm gonna do it again because this was really fun. Okay, bye guys. Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Kassandra.